Welcome on back to Unraveled. I'm Alex.
I'm Olivia.
What's going on, guys?
For now, we have a turnip and a mushroom.
Mush is real skittish today.
I know. He's looking like puppy dog. Puppy D-A-W-G.
He's yawning. He's a little fuck.
Oh, Turnip knows we have our broadcaster voice on, so he wants to come be in front of the camera.
Be in the camera. Yep.
He wants to jump right in his banana. He's like, well, this seems to be how we get attention on this show.
Yep. I'll ride the banana for some stage time, some air time.
Speaking of riding bananas, who do we got today?
Oh, yes. Today we have a story that oh my goodness, it hurts me. This one probably hurts me more than any of the other celebrities in the files.
That's funny. Is this your Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen?
Sure. No, there's got to be someone in there. I mean, there's politicians in there I care about more. I care about politics. I've listened to more political podcasts than Jimmy Buffett radio. But Jimmy Buffett, he is, I don't know, he's one of those guys that, like, I would say, oh, he's a country guy, and other people would be like, he's a reggae guy, and other people would be like, he's a lot of things.
You know what's funny? How I would think of him, and I don't know if this is an actual genre or not, but I think of him as a corporate radio guy. Like when you go to restaurants, when you go to Target, when you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's how I think of him.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know what his genre is, but a lot of those songs that, like, I used to work in restaurants,
mm-hmm.
and you know how, like, when you work every day, you hear the same playlist. A lot of those people, you know who's like that? Like a Jack Johnson type.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
It's that weird, like, you only hear them on a playlist
It's almost like that weird Kamala Harris type, where it's like a lot of Caribbean influence.
Yeah.
Yet somehow we used to have this saying when I worked on the strip in retail, if you meet a Brazilian, they're rich. Like if they're here.
Yeah. If you meet a Brazilian outside of Brazil.
Yeah. They're doing well.
If you didn't go to them.
Another one, where are the crazy rich Asians from? Singapore. If you meet a person from Singapore, they're fucking rich.
I don't think you can. Where are the crazy rich Asians from?
That's where it was filmed, right?
I'm kidding.
Yeah. Where are the crazy rich Asians?
I would also
Japanese businessmen. That's where. But.
Well, you know what I would also kind of say is make it make sense how you live in a place of slavery, and you're the color of the slave. The slave of the land, but also the ruler of them, the owner of them.
You've got the money to move back to London for college.
It tends to always be like an odd. Nothing really lines up.
What's interesting, if you guys haven't seen a lot of this reporting, Candace did a lot of it, and this is kind of where it came from, because people were calling her racist for not supporting Kamala Harris, and she's like, she found out, oh, she's not even like
black.
She's only Indian only.
Yes, I think that was the end result.
What was the old judge on there? Judge
Joe Brown.
Judge Joe Brown said they was Hindi commies from high-born Hindi communists, political activists.
I love him.
Oh my God, it's so funny.
It was honestly, that's, even if you don't like Candace Owens, that's worth the one. His story is like, Judge Joe Brown is fat.
His interview.
I had no idea that he was anyone outside of a.
Oh, he's like, me neither. He's like high LA society.
And he's like very educated. And I'm not saying that because he's black. I'm saying it because he's a celebrity.
He's the kind of guy that, like, I want to do a podcast with him about the history of LA. Because, he'd be like, well, Nicole Brown Simpson, everybody knew she was turning tricks out at UCLA. He's
got like the Samuel L. Jackson voice of the truth instead of the movies. Yeah.
But anyway, Kamala, her family she posted a picture of her with one of her uncle's slaves and said, "This is my black grandma from your half of the, like."
Yeah, you guys had your
when
own.
When we take advantage of poor countries, it's Tijuana.
Okay,
you know what I mean? Like, I'm not familiar with the Caribbean. I don't know which islands are British, American, Caribbean, where the slaves were. I wasn't aware that Haiti was just all the people they were starving to death next door to the Dominican Republic.
They're literally attached.
They're the same people. They are.
And we talk all the time about that there's something fascinating. I think there's something probably to further look into in every place that's one landmass that's divided into
with a
two
straight
ownerships.
Anytime there's a north and a south of somewhere, and there's just a straight line in the middle, and a north and a south Korea, a north and a south, like,
Chicago.
I feel like a lot of places with norths and souths.
Yeah, I mean, or when there's like that.
Yeah.
I mean, in this case, I believe they're like east and west of each other. But
Yeah.
the point is, it's literally like someone was like, you don't cross, like you said about what NATO is, you don't cross this line and we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Like it feels like that happened at some point in history everywhere.
So, yeah. And I didn't know about the Caribbean much. And the more I learn about it, the more I realize. So one thing that's very interesting, unsubstantiated, hard to find info on, and I think this is on purpose. I have heard quite a bit of rumors that Jeffrey Epstein, I mean, we've all heard of Richard Branson. Jeffrey Epstein was not the only pedophile island.
Yeah.
I've heard, allegedly, I've heard Joe Biden had an island out there. I've heard Dr. Phil had an island out there, who's now weirdly like very famous again in the new administration.
What's he do? That's another, like, I haven't even seen him on anything.
He's in like the health grift.
I thought that was Dr. Oz. So now they're doing Dr. Oz and Dr. Phil?
Dr. Phil is doing Dr. Oz, but he's also doing Kill Tony.
Wild.
But he's also
cool.
like a Maha podcaster kind
that has to be a headpiece, right? That flat, with the fluff.
Phil McGraw, who's not even a real doctor.
Wait, his name's Phil McGraw.
Philip McGraw, Dr. Phil McGraw.
Any relation to Tim?
Maybe, or the people who published all of our books growing up. Anyway,
McGraw Hill.
McGraw Hill.
Is that Tim McGraw's Hill?
It might be, and Faith Hill. Wait. Was it McGraw Hill? Was that the book publisher?
Am I just saying that because Tim McGraw? Them? I don't know. I think I have this memory of McGraw Hill. But maybe I'm just thinking of like a charity that they had together.
Yeah, hold on. McGraw Hill Education.
Oh my God. Wait,
What?
I have passed away.
What's happening?
I've died and passed.
Founded in 1888, McGraw Hill.
I mean, okay, so allegedly we're making a bunch of leaps, right? But like,
no.
I'm sorry. Am I to believe that the people responsible for like publishing textbooks, then just the ancestors of each of them married each other as country stars?
Yeah, it looks like that. Or it looks like, let's see what Faith Hill's birth name is.
Oh my God.
Faith Hill.
Audrey Faith McGraw.
Audrey Faith Perry.
Any relation to Katie?
Spouses. Interesting. Spouses. Her first husband was Daniel Hill. No, it says nothing about him, but Faith Hill was her married name. Actually, her middle name and her ex-husband's name.
Wild.
Yeah.
So who knows? I mean, I bet you could Google it a million different ways and not find the connection.
Oh, yeah.
But I bet you if you Googled it one specific way, somebody would be like, I don't know. I thought that too.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I've just found out that the writer of James Bond lived in the Caribbean. There is also something called J.O. next to people's names. J.O. It's like the Jamaican order. It's like being knighted.
Okay. It's like being like a lord in England or like a...
And like, weirdly, it's for people Jamaican born, but it's all rich white dudes from London. Not all. Bob Marley. They let Bob Marley
Good
in.
to know they're representing the culture well.
But it's just very... it just reads a lot like they were colonized heavily by the UK. Heavily. But also us, and also everywhere else in the world.
Yeah, I was going to say, when you look at the map of it too, like how the Caribbean shook out, it's like, why do we own a few? Yeah. The UK it owns it. Like, the US, oh my God.
The Virgin Islands.
Richard Branson, Virgin?
Yeah,
is he responsible for like...
Maybe.
Did he name his brand after where he lives, or did he name the collection of islands after his brand?
Yeah. Or were those islands named after a place where you went to find virgins?
Oh my God. When were the U.S. Virgin Islands named that?
I don't know.
Oh my God. I mean, if this is just an episode of fucking unnaming the named.
I mean, weirdly is that there is a lot in I don't even know all of them. I've just been seeing it a lot, but like these mythical figures like Titus was one of them. I think Osiris or one of them. Like, I don't remember all of them, but there's been evil billionaires who live on islands and like eat children and shit. The guy Caligula is based off of.
I don't know who that is. Is that a Dracula type?
It's a movie that a lot of Satanists and video game nerds like.
Oh,
it's
God.
an old movie. I only know that because I've put that together in hindsight.
Wild.
My cousin, but
yeah.
Caligula is like, I think it was probably about a guy who was running experiments on people and shit too.
Like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type.
But there's always been an idea of sacrificing virgins and islands.
Yeah, I mean, have we ever collectively as a society asked ourselves why we have a group of islands in the that we own and we call them virgins?
And they're going to be like, well, it's named after Charlotte Virginie or something. It's going to be some bullshit, but I know. Anyway, so in waking up to how corrupt that whole part of the world is, and it makes sense. Poor places get run over.
Yeah.
You either make yourself useful or you starve. And it's unfortunately the way of the world. And but I'm new to this part. And I'm new to it through Epstein, heavily through Epstein and the rumors of it. And in all of that, I will not say that Jimmy Buffett is a pedophile. I will say right now, I'm almost positive he is a decoy. The same way that Michael Jackson is pictured in those.
Okay.
Like taking pictures with people. But there are a lot of people saying...
So, but Mike, I guess what I'm asking, just from the gate, I want your take, and then we can get to it. Like, allegedly, though, because I believe that Michael Jackson is innocent. So when you say a decoy, do you think Jimmy Buffett is a decoy in the sense that Michael Jackson is, that he's completely innocent and people are going to now think it? Or just he wasn't up to the same thing as them?
Yeah. I think everyone's guilty of something. I think that's where blackmail comes from.
Yeah, you wouldn't... I mean...
Also, who knows what you're guilty of when you're drugged out of your mind and a hot dude shows up in your room and then they tell you the next day, like, by the way, he was 17. Yeah. That happened to Matt Gaetz. You know, that's still happening. I don't know what happened. I know that where there's smoke, there's probably a little bit of fire. There's at
least someone vaping.
Yeah, there's some weirdness with Michael for sure, but there's also... decades of trauma and how to help people. And like a lot of people, several people have come out and said that they were put up to bringing Michael down. Yep. Aaron Carter, I think Macaulay
who
Culkin.
Is no longer with us.
Yeah.
Who is it sounds like barely with us.
Yeah. He hasn't been with us since he beat Shaq.
Since whenever the day that they ran that article that he died.
Yeah. No, I mean since he was a child. Since his first single came out at Walmart. Do you remember that's how I beat Shaq?
No.
Oh, it's like a swerve to the left and behind the back.
Wait, Macaulay Culkin was a rapper?
Aaron Carter.
Oh, I was like, are you telling me that they really made this poor boy do everything awful?
No.
They made Macaulay Culkin rap? I was about to
I
was about to make a free Macaulay shirt.
I've also watched Macaulay in interviews as of late where he is a very broken and sad individual and very open. Anyway, in waking up to pedophile islands, what I think of... No, I went back too far. Back to the Epstein files.
Yes.
I believe that a lot of what was released, British journalists from The Independent, like big real publications, are saying that people who do investigations for a living are saying with that amount of files and everything it covers just like that, like that's not even like the amount of just like bullshit files. The amount of files we have where it's one page of just metadata.
Yep.
It's like,
and then you pull an email and it's there like 7 times with like a text is a better example of that. A bubble's added like each time.
You're like, they're sitting here saying we have 3 million pieces of 3 million documents, but that's really probably 1 million pieces of data.
I actually talk about this all the time in these, but like the way that there's hundreds of pages of just old articles scanned in, they're helpful because you can't find them on the internet now, but they're not. They're not that. This is what we were all arguing about.
Yeah. So in the UK, where they're being more honest about this and actually prosecuting people, they're saying they think we've only had 2% of an investigation released. So who knows really what's going on? Does Jimmy Buffett? Is he part of this? This is what I think. I think Jimmy Buffett is absolutely a trafficker.
Of something,
and I will get into it, of mostly drugs. I think he's trafficked a lot of drugs.
I think that fits his persona more than...
I think he's trafficked whatever the intelligence community has asked him to traffic, or the military, whichever wing of it he's a part of. For whom he traffics, I do not yet know.
Right.
But we're going to get into a lot of stories, and we're also going to get into some of his connections in life. But as Olivia and I have been talking about him, I have not been able to shake this idea that for being a niche, I know he was a business empire, but he built a multi-billion-dollar empire out of a very niche fan base, which is extremely impressive. And I think that is the way to actually be an entertainer, is to be an entrepreneur about it. I always say show business is 4 parts show and 8 parts business.
Yeah.
Like, and I probably stole that from someone else, but I have never been, for the time he was operational, he was born in the 40s, from 60s to 90s. In the 90s, he started really doing some deals. But in that 40-year span, where did he amass that kind of wealth? Those were different times.
Yeah.
Your dad made $8,000 a year as a manual laborer for a lot of those years.
I mean, if he was born in, say, 40, he was essentially 10 years older than my dad.
If you
or younger.
If you told me that they wrapped every dollar Billie Eilish made into very risky tech investments that all managed to pay out, and she got really lucky and she had insider trading, I could see billion. But a dude born in the 40s who strummed a guitar and never, like, his whole thing was, I'm a bum. They say he worked really hard to be a bum. It's interesting to me.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about if there's anyone else, because that kind of used to be a thing, right? These sort of celebrity brands that
before him, it wasn't a thing.
That's funny. I'm trying to think of.
He's credited with that being a thing.
That's interesting. I can't wait to hear when that, because what's interesting to me is, do you consider Martha Stewart the same category as him as a human? Or do you consider her to be more e-commerce from the beginning?
The interesting thing is, I think, I don't really know her start. Was she on a cooking show?
She was a model.
Oh, she was a model. How the hell? No, I think she's totally a honeypot then.
I believe she's
So the funny thing is, you were like, it makes sense to me, because where you grew up, there were a lot of parrot heads.
Yes.
And where I grew up, there was a Margaritaville. And you're like, well, it makes sense to me that he could be that rich. And to me, it seemed odd. And then I saw some other conspiracy theorists talking about Jimmy Buffett, and they said they think they're going to replace him. And they said this a long time ago. And what they essentially said was, not in like a body double sort of a way.
Yeah.
I don't think even that's what he was getting at. But he just said that brand is such a business.
Yeah.
That's like Sam Walton can pass away without Walmart passing away.
Yeah. I think that's happened.
Yeah. If Jimmy Buffett passes away, Margaritaville kind of dies.
I guess, yeah. I mean, I think it's, at the very least, it certainly needs to, if it's going to maintain, it needs to rebuild itself as a different, now you're just a resort or just a restaurant.
Yeah.
And I don't think they've ever offered anything that great to be that. You know what I mean? I think the reason people went there was because.
Now, the only other band, I think, from that, not the only, but another band from that time that had something very similar happen around them was the Grateful Dead.
Okay.
Built a massive fan base, nichely.
But very different audience, right?
Yes.
They almost had this stoner to Jimmy Buffett's alcoholic, right?
Yes. Yes, they were this. Yes. You see where I'm going.
Yeah.
They also are one of the, I think more so than Jimmy Buffett, I think they are the most merchandised musical group there is. I mean, I'm not joking. Almost every single men's brand, almost every brand they carry at REI sells something with a Grateful Dead bear on it. That means that somebody's from the Grateful Dead's camp gets paid every single thing.
And if you watched the Mary-Kate and Ashley series, that's essentially what credited them from going from they made a little money making movies to was that Walmart deal.
Yes.
It's I think there's something in those deals.
And to that guy's whole and everyone was saying you're crazy because they thought they were saying he's going to body double him, and what he was saying is he's too big to fail. And now there are all these official Jimmy Buffett cover bands. So in a way, he was kind of right. You know, it's interesting too. After Jerry Garcia died, but Bob Weir's still alive. Grateful Dead doesn't continue. but Dead and Company does.
I was just going to say.
Who do they bring on?
His son. Oh, I don't know. That was my thought. No, I don't know. I don't know anything.
You don't know who played guitar for Dead and Company for the last
Babe, I don't
10
know who played
years?
guitar for the Grateful Dead.
John Mayer, his second career has been. He is the new guitarist for the Grateful Dead.
What I was going to say, why I said his son, because I was going to say it's interesting that Jimmy Buffett. I wonder if he has any sons because
you know what's very funny is
a lot of times that's how they play it.
The Allman Brothers. There's a band called the Allman Betts Band, a new band right now. One of them is the son of Dickie Betts and the son of Dwayne Allman, whose dads were in a band together, and they play their songs. So it's essentially. It's a royal cover band. So it's a bloodline cover band.
You know what we should look out for is the two kids of Oasis forming a punk rock band in Ireland soon.
Yes, yeah. That's the new thing. Our family has...
Michael Jackson's son, is it Michael?
Yeah, they sell the rights, but I think there's still some kind of a family can use it.
Or they're trying to use the family.
Yeah,
I'm curious which way it goes.
What's very funny is...
Because then they put these people in the position where they have no money at the end, meaning their kids don't get anything out of this.
Yeah.
And it's like, do I get something if I play my dad?
Yeah. I mean, funny enough, we're going to talk about a lot of Jimmy Buffett's oddities, but one of his oddities is involved with a member of the guy who essentially... is the evil white man who stole reggae. When you hear like Rastas say the white man stole reggae from us, Jimmy Buffett got in a plane crash with the white man that invented ska music and like paid all those Jamaican musicians no money and then sold their records to Jamaican immigrants in London. Like built like Bob Marley.
He knew where there was an audience for their music.
Yes.
I'm curious, do you think he actually had like dreads? That record producer?
Oh, I don't know if he did.
Because I mean, that would make it the ultimate fuckery.
Fuckery, yeah. Probably at one point because he's from there. So growing up, he probably slummed it with them. Anyway, all that. The reason I brought up Jerry Garcia is it's a very interesting idea. It's almost the weed to his. It's almost the LSD to his weed. I think
they're back better than ever and more controlled.
We'll get more into it in not this next episode, but the following one, the full hour episode. I will say if they are a part of the same camp at Bohemian Grove, Jerry Garcia, or I'm sorry, not the same camp, but Jerry Garcia and Jimmy Buffett are both a part of Bohemian Grove.
Oh my God. If you guys aren't watching on Patreon, I say this every week, but I know I cry wolf. I cry cute dog a lot. You guys are missing real cute dog.
Yeah. And this is known because their roster got leaked a few years.
Yep.
And in the full episode, I'll have all those documents and I'll go into it. But also in Bohemian Grove, we're talking Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. That's probably why they were wed, because they were the kids of some shit.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get all more in. To be in Bohemian Grove, and I have to verify this still, but you have to be a 33rd degree Shriner Mason.
You have to yourself.
Yes, so that means you have to be you have to be the highest rank you can have in a Masonic lodge to be a part of Bohemian Grove.
So it's like, is that something I wonder that...
It's almost like Mason's Super Club.
Well, you know how a lot of countries, I think including America these days, but like London has they have like you just walk into London and can live there and it's like an exquisite artist. Like, Angelina Jolie is not out there. Like, you want me to believe Angelina Jolie is actual Mrs. Smith?
Yeah.
Is that something that's just gifted to celebrities? Like,
yeah,
an honorary degree? Or do they have to actually get something?
I don't think it's gifted to celebrities. I think celebrity status is gifted to the people that could do that anyway.
Okay.
I think everything is bloodline. I think every celebrity's a Nepo baby, and the ones that aren't are about to get Lou Pearlman, or about to get Michael Jackson, or about to get white man Rostad. I think everyone who's not blood is their verses are going to be Drake songs.
Yeah,
their verses are going to be. They're there to. Some of the crazy stuff was one of Diddy's guys who was like, not only was he like trying to abuse me, he was also like stealing everything like he forced me to live in a house and make beats for him.
Yeah,
and shit,
and not credit me.
And not credit me. And like,
I see that all the time. Every time there's a song on the radio, like, and there's like, say it's like a rapper and there's like clearly a woman's voice doing like some kind of, and I'm like,
who's that woman?
Why isn't, like, would it kill them to put her, is putting her name there going to put you out of business?
Yeah.
Of course it's not.
Can Drake not share the love a little bit? It's so funny is nowadays you'll see songs where they credit the producer. This is Drake and DJ Khaled.
And the woman or the...
But don't worry about those other people.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's DJ Khaled. DJ Khaled.
Yeah.
DJ
Khaled can't even eat pussy. What are you talking about?
And if you know anything about producers, DJ Khaled's not even the one at the soundboard. DJ Khaled's telling some idiot like me to hit record and to bring up the vocals a little bit.
Honestly, every time he says another one, he's probably just talking to the guy.
Yeah.
He's like, another one.
He's talking about babies.
Yeah.
Another one.
Well...
And they just bring him
it's all chaos, I think, in every industry right now. It does feel like there's like this shake up or shake out going on. So I'm curious to hear how Jimmy Buffett fits into all that. By the way, yes, Martha Stewart did start her career as a model. Yes.
So I think she was always going to be something. But you know what's so funny is almost every Melania in the world, like every model that marries somebody really important, if you look into her life, she was a model at 17.
That's what this says. A teenage model.
Yeah, she was a teenage model. She was somehow a young CEO, like Erica Kerr. Hold on.
Wait, I want to go alongside you.
Hold on. This is like the pipeline. I will get you there. I have 3 of them, but I want a 4th example to really drive it home.
Well, I already yes to your first 2.
So it's teens model, 20s. They're somehow already like a CEO.
So she was a Wall Street stockbroker.
Oh, okay. So that's actually better. It's model 20s. It's in the workforce, but as something that a woman wouldn't be able to do. You're right.
Okay.
In the 20s, 30s, she's a CEO of some shit.
She launches her catering business.
Yep. 40s, philanthropist.
Martha's greedy. It led to entertaining.
Okay,
that's when she started writing her books and having her shows. But if she were,
but you think she wasn't pushing something in her books?
Yes. But it is the irony is the pipeline is almost
that's the
Monica
thing
Lewinsky.
But the philanthropy, you need to have. They'll say, well, the influence was necessary for the philanthropy to thrive.
Well, I also think that's why men get married a lot in these businesses because, like. I'm not saying she's in. I actually really respect the most recent interview she did, so I don't know anything about her. But like Bill and Melinda Gates, it's like Bill Gates wasn't expected to run that charity because he's the genius who's running this and that. But Melinda has something to do, and then he has a place to run his shit through when he needs to.
Yeah. Now, what's very interesting is, and I'm going to leave Jimmy Buffett here, is a lot of these people who don't appear to be obvious Nepo babies almost always are what I'm just starting to learn is a thing, which I knew was a thing, but I'm starting to realize it's like a thing, is their military royalty. When your army overthrows one of those islands,
you're the owner of one of those islands.
Yes, your children get to go to Harvard now. Your children get let into the establishment. Your children can go to Oxford or Cambridge, Massimo on Silicon Valley.
Yep.
When your family when your family says, I'll be the evil one so everyone can make a lot of money, your kids are now royalty too. And where I will leave this is that's really the only bloodline I can find. I'm trying to get better at my storytelling, guys, because Olivia makes all the fun mind maps, and I try to bring.
You're great.
I try to really see big pictures and tell big stories.
I think you're doing great.
So
I'm having fun.
We're gonna get into why I think he's this, but ultimately, I won't leave you guys on the freebie hanging. I think
allegedly,
I do not think he was a part of Epstein's human trafficking ring. I would not be surprised if his boats or his planes were borrowed from time to time. And he got paid a handsome sum of money for it. But I think that a lot. So where I was going with the military royalty is most of the people who are big in culture, pop culture, almost all come from military families.
You know, it's funny. And I'll go into it on the next episode when we have longer time. But I mentioned to you, I started just doing a deep dive of like the top 10 actors in the 90s. And everyone, I kid you not, was either in the bloodline, meaning like their dad owns media,
either Hollywood or
military. It's wild.
And the interesting thing is,
randomly, like I'm talking 1 out of 10, they come from like a foster system.
Yeah, which
is also fascinating.
Which is bloodline, which is bastard bloodline. That's
either
what I'm
that
learning.
Or it's MK Ultra.
Yes,
I don't know what. Maybe both. Fascinating.
So all of that. If you're not bloodline, military is a good way in, and communism and is its own bloodline, its own revolutionary bloodline. And I believe that from a lot of things I've seen, I believe Ireland and the UK connect to the British Virgin Islands and all that slavery shit over there, which kind of then jumped America to Canada. But it didn't jump America because we were kind of running a lot of it. Yeah. Is probably what was really going on.
Yeah, I think it got dispersed to Canada.
Yeah,
honestly.
So a lot of the diplomats and shit made their way to Canada. If you guys haven't heard this story, I won't do the whole thing, but there's a pocket of the internet with some decent evidence. I will say I could see it.
Some intriguing.
And looking at the pictures, I could see it. But a big part of the internet thinks that Justin Trudeau's father is actually Fidel Castro. So it's this weird world of Caribbean Trotskyites leave. It's like all these commies that were leaving Europe after the war. They were the generals of communism. They didn't get beheaded in the streets. The Nazis got to escape to South America, and they got to escape to America and Mexico and the British Virgin Islands. Also,
speaking
and the
of
Ukraine.
Countries that get divided, that something happened there, right?
Yeah.
What was going on with French Canada versus Canada, right?
Canada, all of that.
Yeah.
So anyway, it is also interesting. We're going to get into, I think Jimmy Buffett's a smuggler for somebody. I think it wasn't Epstein.
Okay.
That being said, he did own 3 mansions in the same neighborhood where Trump and Epstein each own 1. So who knows?
What you keeping in there?
What you got in all these mansions, Jimmy?
Just a lot of fucking blenders,
Just a lot of blenders, Jimmy. But so we're going to go over all of that. Head on over to Patreon, guys. Click the link in the description. It'll get you over there.
And you get to see our dogs.
Yep, it's $5 a month. And if you guys haven't heard about our series we did, it's a 20-episode series called Catfish and Chips. It's about our own little victims of smuggling.
I think we were smuggled.
We were smuggled across.
We were the smuggled.
We were smuggled across lines at one point.
Yeah.
Yep. I will say that.
Come on over. It's intriguing.
Yep. Come see all that. That's $5 a month, and get the rest of the Jimmy Buffett deep dive over there. They'll all be out this weekend. And that's all, folks.
Bye.